Marcus Conte reporting on the big debate. Uh-oh, did you watch it? I sure did. I got to go quickly because I'm stepping out, so I just wanted to give you I wanted to give you my take on the debate. If you didn't see it, if you did see it, what I saw. Did you see what I saw? Let's find out. So I'll go I just want to go play by play. I think the big takeaway was a bug on Pence's head. Right around, I don't know, for like 4 minutes, there was a bug that landed on Pence's head. But I think the biggest comment was when Kamala Harris, when they were talking about vaccines, and Kamala Harris said point blank, I'll only take a vaccine, but I'll take a vaccine, but if Trump says take a vaccine, I ain't taking a vaccine. To which Pence properly said, stop playing politics with the American people. I think that was the biggest line. It was just shocking to hear her. Overall, Kamala Harris is obnoxious. You know, we remember her from the debates with Sanders, and where she was. I mean, her record was on trial, but not really. Pence went kind of light on her. But for the most part, she was obnoxious. She was hard to look at. I watched it on ABC where there was a split screen. And you couldn't not look at Kamala Harris's face going like this. Given that, you know, the squinty black lady face, and, you know, that's all she did. She did that most of the night. Pence was so, I mean, if you want to know who won, Pence destroyed her in terms of stability, in terms of mental clarity, steady as she goes. That's Pence's signature. And did Kamala Harris move the ball? I think the biggest point is, did Kamala Harris move the ball in her favor in that debate? No, she did not. She did not. So on the first subject was coronavirus. They went on and on about it for like 25 minutes. And Harris said, if Fauci says take a vaccine, I'll take a vaccine. If Trump says it, I won't take it. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! To which Pence says, stop playing politics with the American people. Because that's precisely what it is, right? What else is it? What else is it? Where's the science? You tell me, where's the science in saying, you know, I'll take it? It just doesn't even make sense. It's just straight up politics. And rather ugly. I'm sorry, I'm trying to go fast because I got to get out of here. Anyway, Harris said this is false. Trump is in debt to someone for $400 million. Only paid $750 in tax. Now, the Democrats have consistently tried to, try to catch Trump in a tax lie. Trump has not released his taxes. That's a first in presidential history. The people have a right to know where your money is, where you go. You go to a bank and you want to take out a loan, they ask for your taxes. With Trump, he's the president of the United States, and has never had his taxes scrutinized by the public. So Harris is right about that, but stop making up lies that he only paid $400 in tax, $450 in tax, or $750 in tax, because you don't know that to be true. That's the New York Times fake news saying that shit. All right, so that wasn't a point. I think the American people are over that. All right. Now Pence, a gaffe of his own, says $4 trillion in stimulus went to the American people. No, it didn't. $4 trillion did not go to the American people. Less than $1 trillion went to the American people, and about $3 trillion or $2.5 trillion went to the largest corporations. Gave them money that they didn't need. The banks got $1 trillion. Everybody got trillions. The people didn't get trillions. So that's false. You got to call them on both sides. Then it moved to the question of hurricanes, wildfires, climate change. I don't know. If you're watching this, you probably don't believe that the planet is slowly deteriorating as a result of human activity. If you don't believe that, then there is no help for you. It's happening slowly. It could, it could take another 20 years. It could take another 2,000 years. We don't know. But there are signs of human activity destroying the planet in terms of, species extinction, in terms of, weather, irregularities, ice caps melting, all that shit. So if you don't believe that, that's on you. But I do. I think there should be a subtle approach to some sort of Green New Deal, some sort of movement into a place where we utilize the sun and the wind and the water power instead of ripping out fossil fuels from the ground. So I believe that. But so Pence said the Green New Deal would crash American energy. Fracking is good for the economy. I fundamentally disagree with both of those facts. But if you are a conservative, if they'll still exist, you might agree with Pence. I fundamentally disagree. I think that we should move towards a subtle version of a Green New Deal. And you would just in the change itself, you would create a lot of jobs, and you would move away from fossil fuels. The other alternative is to keep sucking every ounce of energy out of the ground, creating tsunamis and earthquakes and environmental irregularities by leaving giant gaps in the earth. So whatever you feel about that. I don't know who scores points on that, but I could tell you, Pence said what he believed with clarity and conviction, and Harris, she's not a leader. She's absolutely not a leader. Oh, on the note of time, they were making people made a split screen, but there was also the notion of time. Pence was going over his 2 minutes. That's why he kept getting interrupted. And Harris skirted right along that 2 minutes. I had a stopwatch. I was timing it. And Pence consistently went over the 2 minute time frame, whereas Harris maybe went 2:05, 2:10, and rarely got cut off, rarely got interrupted. The commentator interrupted Pence way more than she interrupted Harris. And he's the sitting vice president. But she's also a sitting senator, so touche. Then it moved on to China. And, there goes Pence blaming China for the coronavirus. No evidence of that. We don't really have any evidence that the people have seen that can confirm that. So I didn't like that. Harris said the White House has a weird fetish with getting rid of everything Obama. Well, Obamacare was a disaster, and there you go. I mean, to the lefty liberals that think that a Harris-Biden administration is going to give you universal single-payer health care, you're wrong. She's telling you they're going to go back to Obamacare, a failed policy that bleeds people dry and doesn't give them health care. Yeah, they have health care, but shitty health care that doesn't cover anything and expensive. Right? So, I mean, that's the big takeaway. The big takeaway is, if you really think that the word salad of Joe Biden and last night's Kamala Harris is going to get you to a Green New Deal and energy, consciousness and universal single-payer health care, you are wrong. You are wrong. So give up that notion, right? Then it moved to Supreme Court. Amy Coney Barrett. Harris said corona. Oh yeah, I didn't really take any notes on that part of it. The big takeaway there was that Pence kept pushing Harris. Will you pack the Supreme Court with liberal fucks if Biden is elected? And she wouldn't answer the question. Pence asked her 3 times, And he said to the American people, let the record be clear that she will not answer the question. They will pack the court with liberal judges, meaning that they'll advance the number of judges from 9 maybe to 20, just so they can have their diffusion of ideas, so that they can have more of their ideas. And they always challenge Roe v. Wade. It's all bullshit, right? And ironically, Kamala Harris, in a way that was very strange, called coronavirus a pre-existing condition that Trump wants to take away from you. It's just ridiculous, right? It's just grasping for straws. And again, I even put a note here. Kamala Harris, totally obnoxious. Just like, it was if, in the beginning, it was if she was talking about a different America, a different president, trying to pin Trump on mishandling the coronavirus because 210,000 people died in America from the exaggerated flu, when they do anyway. And they die of cancer and heart disease. So she was obnoxious, mostly a liar. Again, Pence rocked the clock, right? You know, I got another note. I said that Kamala Harris she looked clearly out of her league. All her fucking facial shit, it didn't work. It didn't work in the first debate against the Democrats. It didn't work last night. Then they switched to Breonna Taylor. Say her name. Say her name. And that Breonna Taylor, the Black Lives Matter pet, Harris said, I was part of those peaceful protests. What peaceful protest? They all ended in violence, most of them. Right to the end, they were smashed. Look at all the smashed windows. Where did that happen? Fires in the West. Broken windows. Beatings. People getting chased down in the street. Peaceful protest. Kamala Harris, I was part of those peaceful protests. All right. And that fucking bug on right around then, there was the bug on Pence's head. There was no way he had like hairspray or something, a fucking bug. Because of his white hair, you saw a big fly sitting on his head for like 4 minutes. It was very disturbing, right? Come on, man. Someone flaked that shit off his head, man. Flick it already, right? And then nobody flicked it, right? So, Pence said that Kamala Harris and Biden keep trying to perpetrate this lie of systemic racism in our country. And I would agree with that. Everything is racist. Everything is black versus white, right? So Pence did good there. Pence said to Harris is 19 times more likely to lock up minorities than whites, based on her record in California as the Attorney General. That was a good point, right? And on elections, which was funny, the peaceful transfer of power was discussed. And would Trump accept it? Would Pence accept it? Of course they would accept it. But Pence said to Harris, your party has spent 3.5 years trying to overturn the election with fake Russiagate. What a comeback, right? What a comeback. So, Mark Sconti reporting. That's my speed reading of the debate. Pence won hands down. Unequivocally, indisputably. He was the steady hand. He was the tried and true. He was the man of experience. He backed his man. He stood by his man, Trump. Whereas Harris just has a track record of smearing the high shit out of Biden, and now she's Biden's running mate. Now, oh, we love Biden. No, I love Biden. Harris also started to make some weird kind of gestures to the public about, look at me, aren't I beautiful? I'm a black woman running for the vice presidency. Who cares? Who cares what color you are or that you lack testicles? Who gives a shit? That's not what it's about, you idiot. That's what you're trying to make it about. That's what your identity politics are all about. And that's what we fundamentally as Americans disagree with. that identity politics is killing the fucker. Excuse me. So Mark's got the reporting. If you watched it, that's what I saw. And put your comments down below. Become a Patreon of this channel, please. Pretty Pleased with Sugar. Become a Patreon, and also go to PayPal and drop a couple of dollars in the tip jar. Marcus Conte reporting.